Next year, everyone, we are going to decipher the Deus 2 programs. A lot of people don't know what these are and why you would select one over the other. Now, I want to explain to you this manual here and how this manual is written. Once the product is developed, they have to write a manual, and they employ a person whose job title is technical writer. And that technical writer contacts the engineers and says, here's all the programs, tell me what each program does. So the engineer will return a blurb back to the technical writer. Now, the technical writer's job is that engineers will return information that only the engineering brain can process. So the rest of the general public has no idea what they're talking about. So the technical writer's job is to take what the engineers are saying, thus technical, write the manual. So they're trying to turn this into something that you and I can understand easily. Now, the technical writer has no idea whatsoever how to metal detect. They've never used a metal detector, they've done nothing. And that's every technical writer out there. They usually don't do what they're writing about. Their job is just to talk to the engineers, figure out the engineering speak, convert it to our speak. And so each one of these things, you talk to an engineer and you say, what's this program do? And they just sort of rattle some stuff off. And that's why you find with, like this manual and MindLab manual and White's manuals, it's like they all kind of look this. It's like every program looks the same. It's like, detect everything, detect everything, detect everything, detect everything, detect everything. So, well, why would I use these programs? So I'm going to get into deciphering what the engineers are saying, what the technical writer is trying to get across. Now, let's go with general first. And what you'll notice over here is it's going to say conductive soil subtraction. And you'll see each of these has different things here, right? Now, well, what the heck is conductive soil subtraction? Nothing talks about what it is or what it does. But we do know that if we go over to beach, that it also has conductive soil subtraction. And we know when you detect a beach, the salt water messes with the ground, and it makes it hard to find items because the ground is just squirrely. And if you go on to read this a little bit more, it says moisture in the grounds, moisture in the soils. And what that's going to be is it just rained, and I'm not sure if you've ever gone metal detector after it's raining, you got to turn down your sensitivity because you just false a lot. It could also mean if you're metal detecting in bogs or in marshlands, partial marshlands. So the general program is a good program if it rains and you're trying to find something and the ground is goofy. So its job is to get rid of the ground problems. Now if we go to sensitive, this is frequency addition. And frequency addition means I'm going to do better in ground that is not wet. So you got great ground, I'm doing frequency addition to find more targets. Now, if you see here, you'll have the individual frequencies here. And this says all the way up to 40 kilohertz. And 4 kilohertz, great in iron, great in 4 kilohertz, great in iron, great for depth, great for finding high conductivity coins and lots of coins together. 40 kilohertz, great for finding small coins, great for finding those 1800 and 1700 small, thin silver coins. So sensitive is going to favor 40 kilohertz, and you can believe that because it says when searching for the smallest targets. And the way that, if you didn't know, multi-frequency works is that they shoot all the frequencies into the ground, and each program will weight the frequencies. So sensitive is going to weight more towards the 40 kilohertz because it's trying to find the smallest targets. Okay. Sensitive FT, same thing. It's trying to find many objects by doing 4 to 40, but it's going to weight against the 40 to find the smallest targets. And sensitive FT, all it does is just change the tones. And if you are not familiar, if you're coming from a non-multi-tone configurable detector, the different tones gives you different information about the ground, and the more experienced you are, you will find yourself going more and more towards full tones or pitch. Now fast, let's go multi-frequency to 40. It's based on sensitive, but if you've seen my other video, it's turning a lot of stuff off, like square audio is quicker to use, pitch mode is quicker to use. It's turning reactivity to 3, which is a faster refresh. So it's basically trying to speed up the CPU to be able to go fast. Again, frequency addition. So you use fast only on good soil. It's not wet. If you got wet soil, you got to use conductive soil subtraction. Now Park, you know, it's putting a notch in to get rid of aluminum and bottle caps. You know, if you see here, dry sand beach, because salt water's not in there messing it up. Okay, bottle caps are rejected. If you go to deep HC, you'll notice that the max frequency now changes, and it goes all the way up to 14 kilohertz. And that is because, and it searches for deep targets. Let's see, where are we? And the other clusters of coins. Again, it's something that is together, that is really conductive, which is good for 4 kilohertz that it starts at. Not good for thin coins. So if you're looking for thin coins, you're going to want to do something like the sensitive program. And if you look at my other video about how to turn everything off on the Deus to increase CPU ticks, you can make a very deep program that is sensitive. Mono, we all know what mono is. You know, you pick 4 kilohertz if you want to find coins from the 1900s. You select 20 kilohertz if you want to find coins from the 1800s. Gold, you know, they're doing a lot of different frequencies. This is set to all metal, and that is basically turning off a lot of the filters to speed up the CPU ticks, so there's more processing power to find tiny, tiny, tiny items. It's using 40 kilohertz, and that finds tiny items. It's going all metal so that it's not just 1 inch deep. It's trying to get a couple more inches. Okay, relic, frequency subtraction is the same as conductive soil subtraction. It's trying to get rid of the ground and everything about the ground so that it can find items in the ground. Okay, diving, again, conductive soil. That's, you know, it's getting rid of the salt water, getting rid of the salt water, and getting rid of the salt water. And I don't do too much in beach and diving, so, you know, there may be intricacies in there for the beach and divers. Anyway, I hope that this helps everybody to understand that you really have to look at the intricacies that the engineers are trying to get across and the technical writer is trying to convey to you without knowing anything about metal detecting. Anyway, heck yeah, hope this helps, and keep swinging.